Oh my fucking god. Okay. All right. This is completely the first time I'm trying to record this. Totally haven't messed up at all. Not once. Not me. I'm not that guy. All right. So, whoa, the fuck. Oh, I didn't set this up. Wait. I have to restart this. Okay. Whoa. There it is. Whoa. Big difference. What the fuck? I may as well just restart the recording. All right, let's pretend like this is the first take. This is take number 1 right here. Right here, first and foremost, folks. I just started it off the cuff. Let me fucking not do that. Let me move this. Can I move this? And you failed. You failed me. Oh my god, let me make sure this is still going. I'm gonna test this file because I don't trust nothing. You know, yeah, boy. Oh my god, I fucking hate this thing. Back at it again. Starting off strong. On the correct foot, left or right, doesn't matter. As long as I step forward, that's right. And just wanted to say, you know, I was hoping we would get about double the amount of, people asking questions. We got, half of quota. And half a quota, not really that great, guys. I mean, come on, let's do better next time, all right? Or else I'll kill you. No cap. For real. Terminal. I got terminal on her. What the fuck am I even saying? All right, anyway. Putting aside whatever I was saying before, I'm cutting to this, all right? I didn't get as many questions, but the people who did ask questions seemed to be kind of, like the normal, not really, normal terminal fare where, maybe they're a little bit extra. There's something wrong with them, or maybe that's what's right with them, right? So I've got a bunch of really maybe low quality questions, but hey, it's from the heart or maybe from, something horrific. I don't know where it's from. Not saying like a country, maybe it's like a dimension of pain and suffering, the concept of, the 9 to 5, that's where it's from, wherever the hell these questions came from. Perhaps I'm not saying it's true, but it might be true. So I'm going to be looking over here, and I don't have an editor. I killed that guy. So I'll be looking at this magical screen over here, and we got the first asker of questions. Asked a lot, okay? So I'm going to try to go through this relatively quickly, maybe not as fast as XQC. We got Queen, I don't know how to speak Chinese. Sorry, Xi Jinping. We got King Shan Li, and this is the person that was all about the cats before. And if you know, you know, right? I hope. I heard a cat. They ask, do you play any musical instruments? Traditional musical instruments, no. But I will say, just to make it a little more interesting, other than a no, is I was forced to be in either, choir or band, right? And I picked band, and I said, hey, what the heck? I don't want to be here. And they're like, you have to be here. Pick something now. And I had to do the drums or whatever. I was a little drummer guy. And it was horrific, and it was very scary. And I never want to pick up a drum ever again, or the drumsticks or whatever, and it was horrible. But yeah, I don't just beat on your mom. I beat on a drum too, once in a while, in the past. What is your personality type? I mean, really got to ask that. I took a little quiz real quickly before booting this up and failing to do the video a couple times. I got INTP. I've got INTJ, I think. Is that a thing? I've gotten that before, I think. I don't know. Fact check me. I can move this. Can I move this? Let me move this. Let me just pretend like something's happening. Let me move this over here so, like, it's not so horrifying. fuck am I saying? This is a better idea. I should have started with this, but I'm not restarting this anymore. Okay, do you like cheese? That's one. Yes, I like cheese. I like eating it. That's American, I think. That's most people like cheese. I mean, come on. Okay, cheese. Any other specific inspirations besides Foe and Dreams with a W in there? Dreams. Specific inspirations? Maybe like specific. What the fuck? Let me just kind of go specific inspiration. I think 11 Eyes. 11 Eyes. That was a specific inspiration for art stuff because that's like way back in the day, and everybody knows the story. Maybe you don't. Editor, roll that back. Where do you get your 3D model things? If you're talking about like this, because that's the only 3D model I'm thinking of, booth.pm. Buy stuff on Booth. It's expensive if you buy a lot of it. And, adds up. Which creation of yours do you relate to the most? I'm going to have to say Yukish right there. I mean, Yukish is probably the most relatable character to me personally, right? I'm just in it trying to survive, not to win it. My day to day, I'm like, I'm here, and this is fucked up, and I'm gonna cry about it later if I have time. But right now, I don't. Can't even express my feelings of how bad this is. That happens sometimes. Okay. What is your opinion on Terminal 111? I like it. I mean, I made it. Is there some section that you feel is the most meaningful to you? A specific page? A page without text? Question mark? By God. Probably has to be the poem page, the Whale one that I've got. That's probably the most meaningful to me specifically with text. And the one without text specifically to me is probably the one with Whale and the halos on it, because that's got no text on it. So, die. I don't know why I did that. Okay, Dear Angus, this is a really long one. I'm looking out to this magical screen over here. Okay, all right. Lock in. I come forth with a question I've been curious about for quite some time. Whoa, quite. Whoa. What were your main inspirations for Yukish and Aviana? And more specifically, their relationship. Any particular characters, works, or concepts? That is all I wanted to ask for the time being. To finish, I simply wanted to say that their relationship and Stars Bleed in general, got 'em, has impacted the way I write my own characters ever since I've stumbled upon it. They're a really big inspiration to me. Thank you for writing such awesome work. And you know what? Thank you for being such an awesome person. The most cutest, legit, manliest, whatever you are. You're on fire. You're a super, my whole tracking just messed up. That's how amazing you are, right? I'm teleporting all over this place. Okay. Back to the actual question. My main inspirations? I feel like there's not a lot, honestly, for those characters. It's more like, Yukish is just like, the inspiration is first person. That's first person character. That's number one. And Aviana, let's see. I just like witchy characters, I guess. That was that. I don't think there's really an inspiration for that one. There's nothing that comes to mind, really. I guess there really wasn't any, like, specific thing. And their relationship, inspirations, I don't know. There wasn't really anything, like, particular in my head where I'm like, this has inspired me for this. It just kind of came about. There wasn't a whole lot of planning for it. I'm just like, all right, looks like I got to write this. And then that's what happened. I'm like, all right, it just like dominoed all over the place, right? In parentheses, for the site, right? Do you like writing or making the art more? I like the writing more. The art part, I usually don't. I don't like that. I mean, I don't like the writing either, but I think I like the writing more. And how much do you love, L-U-V, your friends? And a little funny face. I love my friends a whole lot. I love them maybe a little too much, right? Do we break promises because we outgrow them? Maybe, I guess. I think it depends too much. It depends. That's my secret attack whenever somebody asks me anything. Like, how should I do this? Depends. Like, go fucking read a book. Go figure it out yourself, okay? Like, become a real human being, all right? Figure it out. Do it. Solve your own problems. Then a little spark coming on my head. Anyway, Monster Hunter says, is there anyone other than you in the know? Yes. Okay. I'm not going to let you know who. What watchers or other beings are capable of drinking tea? What was the impetus for the influx of fresh meat? Okay, that's very, like, topical. That's almost like political right here. That's like the election cycle kind of thing. That's a very, like, this is why, also, I don't think you're really in the know, because if you ask me, are other people in the know, then you don't know that other people are in the know, clearly. Or you don't know that they're not in the know. Or you're asking me for, like, no reason at all. I just ask me random shit. But I've done this quite a few times, opening it, closing it, opening, closing it, opening, closing it. But as long as you do it in a little short burst or whatever, I think about it as, why would you keep it closed forever, right? Because people get disinterested, they've overstimulated themselves, they've overstimmed or whatever. Their autism has reached its peak on our certain topic or whatever. And, that's the whole fresh meat thing. You got to keep things fresh. You don't want it to go stale. So every once in a while, it's nice to see a new face and ban them or kill them off. I understand that, sometimes it gets boring and all you need for everybody to come around is some stupid guy to laugh at. You're like, everybody gather around. Look at this person. Like, look, everybody look. This is a story that we can all share together. This beautiful thing. Do you have any idols? I don't think I have any idols. Do you have a favorite game or film? Favorite games, probably gotta be Dragon's Dogma, Dark Arisen. That's probably one of my favorite games right there. And, like Halo. Halo Combat Evolved, that was epic. StarCraft Brood War, that's gotta be one of my favorites. Films, that's a good, I think Eraserhead. Eraserhead's gotta be one of my favorites. That one stands out. Anyway, who cares? Do you have a favorite terminal? Do I have a favorite terminal? Good question. Yes, my favorite terminal is Terminal 00. What are your main inspirations for Terminal? For Terminal and Stars Bleed. I fucking woke up one day and shit's been tough ever since. Shit's been fucking popping off ever since. That's my main inspiration, I think. It's just like, man, look at this. Look at that. Look at that. See that? All this crazy shit. Holy fuck, look. Wait, it's centered. That's why I have it locked on me. Anyway, other than that, I think there's probably something. Terminal, I guess Terminal, everybody knows that, the Wired Sound site. But before that, before even the Wired Sound stuff, I watched like Lane, like Serial Experience, and all the other hip animes, and those are cool. But I knew about Lane before this guy. So then when I saw it, I'm like, I get it, man. I get that it's like it's a take on something else, but it's like kind of like it's not what he really wanted to portray, but it's enough where you're like, it's fresh and new. It's like, wow, an image, and it's got music, and I like that. And that's like a video game kind of, but it's not a video game. It's way simpler. But even then, it's kind of hard, right? It's kind of hard making an image, even if it's easy. It's like, what the fuck? I could have been straight gooning for all these hours. Now I got to instead open up, Photoshop or whatever and work on something. So, yeah, Wired Sounds has to be, that was like the one big moment, like, psing! And then also like, I don't know, probably everything else in my entire life somehow. And being lazy also was a big inspiration. It's just like whatever the laziest fucking thing I can do to make something work. Stars Bleed, I think probably book-wise, maybe, we're bringing up the Black Company, series. That one, pretty good. And, Lovecraft, all of his works, that really inspired me before anything. But then I came back to it later and through like Bloodborne too, and that inspired me, but more like the Lovecraftian cosmic horror side of things. But like Aliens, and I never even watched The Thing though. But then afterwards, I'm like, I would have been inspired by this, but that was an inspiration. Stars Bleed, of course. 11 Eyes, got to bring that up too. I'm like, man, like anime. I don't know. I'm sure like the Wizard of Earthsea too is another inspiration for like and maybe like The Hobbit or something. But the Wizard of Earthsea is kind of more the first person perspective of a fantasy. I'm like, you can do first person. I'm like, you can do it, and that's how I live my life. I'm first person. Like I don't understand this whole Gears of War stuff where you're like the third person camera. I mean, I understand it in the gamer perspective, but I don't wake up and do that. I ain't got like the camera of God behind. I mean, if there is a camera watching me, I wouldn't be surprised about it, but I don't know about it unless I do. Well, I'm not gonna let them know about it. Keep that on the down low. But anyway. So yeah, that's one thing. And then what the fuck did I say? There's some other book or whatever. Who knows? Like The Hobbit and stuff, like a journey. Like everybody likes those fantasy books where there's a journey or whatever. It was Stars Bleed was gonna be more like a journey, like through a lot of areas. But then I'm like, man, like to get this story going, a lot of stuff's got to happen, and there's no time for all this other stuff. So. And I had to say, all right, let's stay in this one area and do a lot of shit. So that worked out better. But I don't want to get too into that because that could be like everything. That could be the whole video. Only two questions involving Yukari. Why is she covered in blood? And whose blood is it? And then it's the photo that I took of the replica of the Dream Man's statue who's covered in his blood, the Dream Man's blood. So that one isn't, mine isn't covered in blood. It's just paint. But the Dream Man's one, it's covered in his blood, his real blood. The blood, which is probably like, that's probably what attracted all the flies in his room. Now that I'm thinking about it, they probably smelt that shit like festering on Yukari. I don't know. Does Terminal 001B seriously stand for Terminal 001 Boggy? Really? After all, even the Z98s wanted to trash it. Now, I've never heard this idea before, but I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. Terminal 001B is not about Boggy, the user Boggy or whatever. He wishes he was that important. It's actually from another random guy that was trying to convince everybody that he had a folder of like a couple gigabytes of data about Terminal 001B before it existed. And then when I did like the whole collaboration idea, I'm like, hey, I thought it was going to be one terminal. Okay. I thought I was going to work on one terminal, a couple of pages, but then it was more. But before all that, in the beginning, I'm like, hey, we need a name for this, so we can all have our, all the files have a single like tag on them, a single name, so we can all get. I thought it was because it was going to be one terminal anyway, and technically it is, but I mean, really, when you go there, they're like separate. They're pretty separate. They're not really interlinked or whatever. That's fine, but I needed one thing. I needed one thing to call it, and hey, I put out a vote or whatever, or popular. Everybody make an idea, and the first thing that really the first thing that popped up, and the first thing that won out over everybody else is the Terminal 001B, because that was the cool story that cropped up from the weird users on Discord, where where the guy came up and he's like, yeah, Terminal 001B, I've got gigabytes or whatever. You want to see my zip file or whatever? And I don't know what the hell happened to him, or I think we banned him probably. That's what happens to most people. But it's pretty funny. The Terminal 001B, most people know it, if they know it at all, as oh my God, some people don't even realize it's a collaboration thing, and not me. That's like I didn't make that, obviously. And then people even say, hey, made by this guy, and they're like, oh, Angerstick never did it. No, you're stupid. Anyway, so it's not even from that. Yeah, it's from a random guy or whatever who's insane. Another, schizophrenic guy. We have many of them. Many, many, many. We should weaponize them. That'd be cool. Weaponizing them would be pretty epic. I would enjoy it. I mean, I have weaponized them a little bit. Don't ask. How did you acquire all those dolls? If you do indeed have them, and I do have them, I've got, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them so far. I got them from Volks, the bodies, and all the other things, and the heads, specifically, which is what is like the biggest purchase for like these custom dolls. I got them off of Yahoo Auctions, Japan Yahoo Auctions. I got it online. I got it from the internet. I got it off of the real website, or Real Men Go. When are the doors for Terminal going to open? Not saying that. Been waiting in line for 3 months. I get it. 3. When one of the doors going to open? They might never open, unfortunately. I mean, I've got an idea for that kind of thing, but that's going to take maybe 3 more years before I even think about doing anything with that. So, I mean, yeah, you're going to have to wait a long time. You're going to have to be very patient, or die, be reincarnated to a different dimension where it's done. But that's pretty much it. With the glowies or whatever. Mr. Probe. This is Terminal. You're gay. Oh God, Jesus.